Hello guys, this is your friend and we are back with a new fanfic part 2. Which is what if Naruto and Ino's pretend dating ended with a kiss part 2. And if you enjoy this fanfic then please press the like button and subscribe to my channel for more fanfic like this. And now let's start the fanfic. Naruto's dream. The blonde male stood there with the pink-haired girl in his arms. He had just finished explaining the details of his plan to her. Naruto, I still can't believe that you did all of this for me. Yeah, he nodded. So, now that you know, what does this mean for Sakura-chan? She let him go. Sakura smiled for him. I think that we should be together. Come on Naruto, let's go. She gripped his hand, and started to lead the way. Wait, a voice was heard. Huh. Naruto froze. He knew that voice all too well. It was a voice that he had grown very accustomed to. He turned around. Oh, Ino-chan. He saw the platinum blonde standing there. She looked completely out of breath, like she had been running to catch up to them. Naruto, wait. You can't go with her. He blinked curiously, turning his full attention onto her. He could tell by the look in her eyes that she was serious. Naruto. Sakura spoke. She pulled his arm trying to get his attention. Come on. Let's go. Okay, forget about Ino pig. Sakura tried pulling him along, but stopped when she felt that he wasn't coming with her. She turned to see what the problem was. And there she saw Ino holding on to his other arm. No, Ino shouted. Forehead, you don't get a chance with him, not anymore. Naruto, come with me, okay? I can make you way happier than she ever could. No, don't listen to her Naruto. Come with me. The two girls began pulling him in both directions. The blonde male was starting to become dizzy from the constant pulling. He didn't know which way to go, or who to go with for that matter. Let me go, both of you. He spoke. No, I'm only protecting what's mine. They both said at the same time. Sakura-chan, Ino-chan, I can't be with both of you. Or can I? He smiled. Just then two fists went flying and punched the young man in the face. No, the hell you can't. They screamed at him. Right, I understand. He mumbled. I was just kidding. Very good, Uzumaki. Now that you realize that, I guess you better choose. Ino told him. For once I agree with Ino pig. Choose. Naruto started. Choose now. Sakura said. Right now Naruto. Ino spoke. With that the blonde teen awoke from his dream. He sat up in bed, his bangs falling over in his eyes. A slight sigh escaped him. What a weird dream. He whispered. The blue-eyed teen threw on a t-shirt and his jacket. He had a good feeling that he would not be getting to sleep anytime soon. He decided to go out for a walk. All he could really think about was the events of his dream. He walked the streets of Konoha with his hands in his pockets. Man, I really can't believe that dream. He couldn't have feelings for Ino, could he? No, that was impossible. She happened to be his friend. And, she definitely didn't see him as anything more than a friend, he was positive of this. Come on Naruto. Snap out of it. It was only a stupid dream. There's no reason to dwell on it. It was a cool night, the breeze felt extremely good to him. The air seemed to calm him. Once he felt relaxed enough he decided to head back home. There was no real good reason for him to stay out here. He might as well try getting back to sleep. Naruto, what are you doing out at this time? Iruka-sensei. He looked up to see his former teacher. Wait, what are you doing out here? Isn't it way past your bedtime? Naruto teased. Iruka laughed and put his hand to Naruto's head, messing up his already spiky blonde hair. Very funny Naruto. I could be saying the same thing about you. Yeah, Naruto smiled. But seriously, what are you doing out this late? I was at the academy drawing up my lesson plan for tomorrow, and I sort of lost track of time, I guess. Naruto nodded in understanding. So no hot date, huh? Naruto nudged him in the shoulder. No, I'm afraid not, just school work. When Naruto grew silent, Iruka blinked in confusion. He wondered what was troubling the young man. Naruto, is there something wrong? Huh, no, of course not. Iruka smiled knowingly at his former student. Come on, let's sit and talk. He then led the way to a nearby bench. Naruto didn't speak right away. Iruka stretched his arms out, leaning back against the bench. It's a shame that it's so late, otherwise I could treat you to a bowl of ramen. Yeah, well maybe next time, Haruka-sensei. He spoke in a hopeful tone. We'll see, Naruto. Now tell me what's on your mind. Naruto took a deep breath, gathering up all his thoughts. If there was anyone that he could talk to, it would be Iruka. He had always been there for him no matter what. Iruka-sensei, I kind of need some advice. Okay. Well, I'll be happy to help in any way that I can. What's going on? Alright, let's say that old man Tuki had a brand new flavor of ramen out. I'm talking, like an undiscovered type of ramen. And I was thinking of trying it. But, what if I can't bring myself to try it because I'm still stuck on pork ramen? What do I do, Iruka-sensei? He shouted in a slight panic. It was the only way he could think of to describe his situation. He had never been in this sort of predicament, so it was only natural that he would panic. Iruka only held a bewildered expression on his face. Naruto, why couldn't you just enjoy both kinds of ramen? I don't understand. It was clear that Iruka had no idea that wasn't talking about ramen at all, or rather he was talking about his feelings for Sakura, and his possible feelings for Ino. No, Iruka-sensei, that's not going to work. I can't have both. Naruto, since when have you said no to ramen? No matter what the flavor is. Oh, the brown-haired male paused. It was as if a light finally clicked on in his brain. Naruto, this doesn't have anything to do with ramen at all, does it? No, it doesn't. It's more like a girl problem. Ah, well, if it makes you that uncomfortable, we'll continue talking in your terms. Why are you afraid to try the new flavor of ramen? Are you afraid that you may end up liking it more than you first thought? Iruka asked. Maybe, but I don't know if I even like the new flavor. I think that I'm still into the old flavor. I don't know what to do, Iruka-sensei. Perhaps, you should give the new flavor. He stopped again. Alright, this is too weird. Naruto, it's perfectly fine to try new things, and open your eyes to a different experience. Who knows, if you give this girl a real chance, you might be pleasantly surprised. Naruto looked at his hands for a moment, while processing what Iruka had just said to him. Yeah, even if I did give it a shot, I doubt that she would return my feelings. Give it some time, Naruto. You don't have to make a decision about either girl right now. So, you think I should just sit and see how things turn out? I'm just telling you that you don't have to rush into anything. I'm sure that the answer will come to you, when you're ready. Now I'm going to head home. Good night, Naruto. Good night, Iruka-sensei. Oh, and tell Shizune-nichan that I said hello. Naruto laughed. Huh, a slight blush rose to the brown-haired male's face. That is none of your business. And Shizune-san and I are just friends. Yeah, okay, Iruka-sensei. I'll see you around. Bye. The blonde male waited a while before heading home himself. His only thoughts were on the conversation he had with his former teacher. Perhaps, he only needed to spend more time with the platinum blonde, to find out if he really did have feelings for her. Maybe Iruka-sensei is right. I should try the new flavor. I mean, give Ino-chan a real shot. Yeah, maybe I will. He decided. Saturday came quicker than the blonde-haired male had expected. He found that he wasn't as nervous as he was before. It wasn't like he planned to make Mr. Yamanaka upset in any way. Besides, he can't kill me with Ino and her mother around. There would be too many witnesses. Naruto dressed casual, wearing black pants and a blue shirt. He placed his Chunin vest on top of the shirt. There was nothing wrong with looking presentable in front of Mr. Yamanaka. He then tied his hitai on his forehead. He thought he looked decent enough. Alright, I'm ready. I better get going. In truth, he was actually hoping to be a little early. He was debating on whether or not he should tell Ino about the dream. She most likely would laugh at him, and say that he was being ridiculous. Stop being an idiot. It was only a dream. He heard Ino's voice in his mind. Yeah, she'd probably say something like that. The more he thought about it, it was pointless to talk to her. For all he knew, the dream could have been just a silly little dream. Not every dream had to mean something. If this was the case, why was his mind telling him otherwise? Why did it feel like it was more than just a simple dream? Hey, Naruto-kun, I hear that congratulations are in order. A black-haired male spoke. This caused the blonde to look up at his friend. Hey there, bushy brow, what do you mean congratulations? Congratulations to you and Ino-chan on your newfound relationship. Everyone's talking about it. Oh. Naruto smiled sheepishly. Yeah. So everyone's talking, huh? Yes. Lee nodded. But Tenten-chan and I weren't surprised in the least. We are very excited for the two of you. Perhaps we can double date in the near future. Naruto could only imagine what kind of date that would turn out to be. He could imagine the look of horror on Ino's face, while Lee continued to talk about youth. Naruto chuckled to himself at the thought. I don't know. I would have to check with Ino-chan first. Right. Lee understood. I'm going to get going though. Lee, I'll talk to you soon, alright? Yes. I'm already running a little late to pick up Tenten-chan. I should be going as well. Stay youthful. Will do. Naruto nodded. The friends said goodbye to one another, and both boys went their separate ways. Naruto decided he would most likely not tell her about the double date invitation. Then again, with the way she had sprung this dinner on him, why shouldn't he get a little payback? When he finally arrived at the Yamanaka's house, he was greeted by Ino herself. Hi Ino-chan. He smiled for her. Ino stood there staring at him. She moved to the side so that he could enter the house. Ino leaned up against the doorway, and waited for him to come in. Hey Ino-chan, what's going on? He noticed her hair was down again and she had a blue butterfly clip in it. She was wearing a blue skirt, and a white top. You look nice. He paused. The platinum blonde was still silent. Naruto knew for sure that something had to be wrong. Since when did she not respond to a compliment? Naruto scratched his hair and then pointed to her. Okay. What's up? You are never this quiet, ever. He added. Ino frowned and was about to hit him upside the head. Unfortunately, her mother had intervened. She sighed knowing that she would not be able to hit him now. Good evening Naruto-kun, it's great to see you. Please come in. Sure. He nodded, giving Ino another look before entering the house. You'll have to forgive Ino-chan. She caught a nasty cold and lost her voice. Oh. He nodded in understanding. Sorry about that Ino-chan. Ino nodded. But, hey Mrs. Yamanaka, at least the house will be quiet for a few days, huh? He teased. The older blonde woman let out a laugh. She soon regained herself, when she caught the displeased look on her daughter's face. That's not very nice, you know. Come on, have a seat. I'm going to go check on dinner. Inoichi should be here soon. Mrs. Yamanaka, is there anything I can do to help? Naruto asked. There he goes being Mr. Helpful again. Ino thought. Well, you can help Ino-chan set the table. I'll be right back. The moment her mother left, Ino walked over to him and hit him upside his head. Ow. Damn it. Ino, what the hell? The look of sheer annoyance on her face made him remember why she hit him. Oh. He grinned apologetically. I was just kidding, mostly. Whatever. Ino sighed. Follow me. She motioned for him to come with her into the kitchen, to retrieve the plates. Naruto was immediately greeted by the wonderful aroma that was coming from the room. Wow. It smells awesome in here, Mrs. Yamanaka. Oh. She looked up. Thank you, Naruto. Everything should be done shortly. After you two set the table, Ino-chan, why don't you show him around the shop? Sure, Mom. The blonde male helped carry the plates back to the table, so that he and Ino could set everything up. As she was placing the chopsticks down, her fingers accidentally brushed up against his. She looked up to meet his gaze. They stared at each other for a moment. Oh, sorry Ino-chan. No problem. She slowly pulled her hand back. Only she could still feel that warm feeling there. That warm feeling caused by his fingers. As soon as the table had been set up, the platinum blonde led the way to their flower shop. Naruto walked behind her with his hands behind his head. He stared at her with a curious expression on his face. The whole time he kept thinking how unfortunate it was that she had lost her voice. They could have been having some sort of conversation, if she were able to communicate with him. Ino, on the other hand, didn't know why she was even showing him the shop. Would he even care about flowers? Somehow she doubted it. This would probably be a waste of time. Naruto stood in awe at all the many different types of flowers. Wow. Ino-chan, so many flowers. Yeah, you got it. Which ones are those? He pointed to a red flower. Ino wanted to be able to tell him what they were, and the meaning behind it. But, naturally at this moment she couldn't. Those are red carnations, Naruto-kun. Ino's mother spoke. Would you like to know what it means? Sure. It means, My heart aches for you, or that you have an admiration for someone. Oh, he nodded. Ino-chan, help me water these white carnations, and those chrysanthemums. Oh, and after that would you mind helping me finish arranging this bouquet? No problem. Ino shook her head. Hey, I can help water these too, Mrs. Yamanaka. I'm not an expert like you or Ino-chan. But I have some plants at home. Oh, do you like to garden, Naruto-kun? Hey, he smiled. Sometimes. Naruto admitted. Well, that's very good, Naruto. It can give you and Ino-chan something to do together. Why don't you water those gardenias over there? The older blonde passed him the water pail. Sure thing. Ino watched with interest, as the blue-eyed male handled the flowers with utmost care. It came as a surprise to her. He just didn't strike her as a person who would take an interest in gardening. He always seems to surprise me. Oh, I'd better get dinner on the table. Your father should be home by now. Ino-chan, you can handle the rest of this bouquet, right? Of course. You know that I can do this in my sleep. Ino smiled confidently. Good, thanks a lot. Mrs. Yamanaka exited the room, leaving Naruto and Ino alone once more. Okay. Well, that takes care of that. Naruto whispered since he had finished watering the gardenias. He went to look for something else to do, but became distracted when he saw what Ino was doing. She was standing there finishing up the bouquet that her mother started. She looked completely at home and relaxed. This was Ino's domain. She was a natural at this sort of thing. She seemed so focused, as she added another flower to the beautifully mixed bouquet. Of course Ino is good at this sort of thing. She's probably been doing this sort of thing ever since she was a kid. Naruto walked over to her, watching closely. Wow, Ino-chan, you did a really nice job. Thank you. She nodded. He looked at her. A sigh escaped him, which caused her to turn to look at him. The blue-eyed male then looked up. There was a bright glint in his eyes. It's so hard not being able to hear your voice, Ino-chan. I got so used to hearing it. He laughed. He stopped talking. Never mind, let's get back to the table. I don't know about you, but I'm starving. Ino followed behind Naruto this time. He led the way back to the dining area. Once there, they were greeted by Mr. Yamanaka. He was already seated at the table. He had his hands folded underneath his chin. His gaze already focused on Naruto. Oh, hey there, Mr. Yamanaka. Ino noticed that Naruto didn't stutter or seem nervous. He had either gotten an extra dose of courage over the last few days, or he was simply pretending not to be scared. Hello, Naruto. It's good of you to finally join us. I asked Ino to invite you over a while ago. Really? He questioned while looking over to the platinum blonde. Alright, yeah, so I let it slip my mind. Just sit. Ino grabbed a hold of his shoulders and pushed him in the seat. Now Ino-chan, you shouldn't treat a guest that way. Mrs. Yamanaka spoke. Yeah, Ino-chan, you shouldn't treat a guest that way. It's impolite. Naruto smirked. Ino simply rolled her eyes at his remark. Oh, Naruto, I made something especially for you. Ino-chan told me how much you liked ramen. The older blonde-haired woman placed a bowl of hot steamy ramen in front of him. A huge smile exploded onto his face. He was extremely grateful to Ino right now. Thanks a lot, Mrs. Yamanaka. No problem. She smiled. Ino closed her eyes expecting to hear the young man immediately diving into the bowl of noodles. She expected to hear the loud slurping sound. To her relief, she found that he was eating like a normal person. He was probably too afraid of her father to not show decent table manners. Mrs. Yamanaka, this is really good. It's almost as good as Aikir. He tried to finish his sentence, but Ino put her hand over his mouth. He should never go insulting a woman's cooking. It was something that should not be done. Idiot. Yes, thank you, I could never get it to taste quite as good as Tsuki-san. But that's no surprise, after all, he is the expert. Mrs. Yamanaka sat down and dinner was finally underway. For a while there wasn't any conversation. Everyone seemed to find the food on their plates extremely interesting. Things are a bit too quiet. Naruto thought. Naruto noticed that Ino wasn't eating anything. Was it possible that she was dieting again? He hoped not. She didn't even need to diet in the first place. He started. So, Naruto. Inoichi spoke. This caused the blonde boy to turn to look at the older male. Yes, Mr. Yamanaka. I was curious to learn more about you. What are your plans? Your goals for the future? He waited for a moment before answering Inoichi. Well, sir, my main goal has always been to become Hokage. I've always wanted to prove to everyone that I was worth something, you know. And, also, I want to protect this village, Mr. Yamanaka. He stopped. All eyes were now on him. It's like, when you have something precious to you, you only want to protect it. Inoichi looked at the young man for a moment. He could tell by Naruto's tone of voice, and the look in his eyes that he was very serious. Well, at least he has goals in life, that's a good thing. Inoichi thought. I understand perfectly well what you mean. It's a very good dream to have Naruto-kun. Ino's mother nodded. Thanks. I have another question, Naruto. Inoichi spoke again. Ask away, sir. Where does my daughter fit into all of this? I only want what's best for her. You wouldn't have any plans to just use her and then drop her when she doesn't hold your interest anymore, do you? I would hate for something terrible to befall you if you did. There was an intense look in those blue eyes. Naruto simply swallowed the lump of nervousness in his throat. He knew that he couldn't show his fear now. He turned his full attention onto Inoichi. Sir, I have no intentions on hurting Ino-chan in any way. I promise you that you have nothing to worry about. So, nothing terrible should happen to me, right? He laughed. Speaking of Ino-chan, why isn't she eating? He finally asked his question. I'm not sure. I even made her some soup to help with that cold of hers. But she didn't want it. Mrs. Yamanaka answered. That's no good, Ino-chan. He shook his head. You have to eat. Mrs. Yamanaka, if you don't mind, could I go and get the soup that you made for Ino? Sure, it's in the kitchen. Inoichi had to admit that he was curious as to what Naruto had planned. He was actually glad to see that he hadn't scared Naruto too much. He was glad to see how confident the young man seemed. Inoichi didn't want some punk dating his daughter, that was for sure. Either he's really good at pretending he's not scared, or that young man has grown some balls over the last few days. Inoichi thought. Ino just sat there thinking about how Naruto had just spoken to her. He actually had some concern for her. She could hear it in his voice. It actually gave her a good feeling to know that. No, Ino, don't think like that. He's not into you that way. He was just being a good friend. Naruto came back with a bowl of soup for the platinum blonde. He sat down, pulling his seat closer to her. Ino raised an eyebrow to him in question. What is he going to do? Naruto took the spoon, and smiled warmly. Okay, Ino-chan, open up. You're going to eat all right. He's not planning on feeding me, is he? I'll even blow it for you if it's too hot. I don't care if I have to feed you myself, just to make sure that you eat. The blue-eyed girl blinked. She really couldn't believe him. He was showing such confidence in front of her father, by offering to feed her. It was refreshing to hear him talk like this. But, it was also overwhelming at the same time. He's been so polite, like a real gentleman. My mother likes him. He actually showed an interest in something that's always been important to me. And now he wants to feed me. I can't take this. Ino rose from her seat, and ran up the stairs. Naruto blinked in confusion. He wondered if maybe he had done something wrong. Don't worry about Ino-chan. She'll be alright. Her mother promised. Yeah. Hey, Mr. Yamanaka. Mrs. Yamanaka, thank you for inviting me over for dinner. I should probably get going. Tell Ino-chan I said goodnight, okay? The young man stood up from the table. He started for the door, but stopped when Inoichi called out to him. Naruto, wait a moment. Yes, sir. I wanted to tell you that I'm sorry for being so harsh with you before. I was simply concerned for Ino-chan's best interest. You can understand that, right? Oh yeah, I understand, sir. So, then you aren't going to come and kill me in my sleep. He laughed. Certainly not, Naruto. Inoichi is a real softie once you get to know him. Inoichi walked over to the young man. He put his hand onto his shoulder. Listen, son, I want you to know something else. I do not blame you because of the Kyuubi. Naruto's eyes widened upon hearing Inoichi's words. In truth, a part of him had wondered what Ino's parents had thought about that. That's right, dear, we do not judge you because of something that's not your fault. Mrs. Yamanaka spoke. Inoichi nodded in agreement. He still wore his serious expression, but Naruto found that there was nothing to be concerned about anymore. There is something that I believe you should do. What's that, Mr. Yamanaka? I believe that if you're going to be spending time with Ino-chan, you should tell her about the Kyuubi. It's completely up to you. But, I think that she has a right to know. There was silence for a moment. Naruto knew that Inoichi had a point. He should probably tell Ino all about the Kyuubi. They were friends, and he did feel that he could trust her with that bit of information. Okay, Mr. Yamanaka. He nodded. I understand. I'm going to go now. Have a good evening. He shook his head. You have a good evening as well, Naruto. Meanwhile, Ino sat in her room staring out of her bedroom window. She wasn't sure why she had run off like that. The only thing that she knew was that she couldn't sit there for a minute longer. Hey, she thought. He was actually going to feed me that soup. What the hell was he thinking? She looked down to see Naruto walking away from her house. She wanted to be able to shout something at him, anything at all so that he could look up at her. She sighed knowing that right now she couldn't. Soon the blonde male came to a stop. He turned around and looked up at her from downstairs. He smiled for her. Good night, Ino-chan, he told her before heading back to his own apartment. A small smile rose to Ino's face as well. Good night, Naruto. Ow. Ino-chan, please not so rough. Be quiet, Naruto-kun. I can touch you in any way that I want to. You're all mine now, remember. Sakura, Hinata, and Tenten paused as they heard the two loudest voices of Konoha. The village's most talked about new couple. The new inseparable duo of Naruto and Ino. You really couldn't see one without the other these days. Yeah, I know. I belong to you. I got it. But you're going to hurt it, if you keep touching it like that. The pink-haired female's eyes widened to the size of saucers. Just what in hell kind of kinky stuff was going on over there by those trees? What exactly was she touching? Tenten seemed less moved, while Hinata turned a healthy shade of crimson. Naruto, quit being a baby. It can't possibly be that sensitive, can it? But Ino-chan, it really hurts. Sakura ran over to the two blondes, followed by Tenten and Hinata. She had to get to the bottom of whatever was going on. Okay. She pointed. Just what in Kami-sama is happening over here? Ino looked up slightly confused. She had her hand on to the young man's shoulder. She didn't seem to be touching anything inappropriate. Naruto's appearance was definitely less appealing. He had a slightly black eye, and his arm was wrapped up in a sling. What happened to you, Naruto? Oh, this. He smiled. Did Ino pig beat you up or something? Ino frowned at her pink-haired friend and rival. She then took her hand and gently started to stroke Naruto's cheek. Unlike you, forehead, I'm not a boyfriend beater, right, baby? Baby, Sakura thought. Hi, Ino-chan. Tenten walked over to the opposite side of the blonde male. She touched his arm. I'm so sorry about this, Naruto. Does it still hurt a lot? What happened, Tenten? Well, it's quite a story actually. Ooh, I want to tell it. Ino interrupted. No, let me tell it, okay, Tenten-chan. Naruto said. What? Ino pouted. But, Naruto-kun, I want to tell the story. But Ino-chan, I'm the one that looks like this. I think that I should tell the events of last night. Let me tell it, please, baby. Ino spoke in a heavily seductive tone. The blue-eyed girl went back to stroking his cheek. Sakura repressed the urge to throw up, while watching this little display. Naruto could feel his body temperature rising by the second. Why did she have to touch him like this? He closed his eyes and swallowed hard. Ino-chan, please let me tell the story. You're no fun. I wanted to tell the tale of doom, hopelessness, fear, and betrayal. Betrayal? Sakura questioned. Yep. Ino nodded. It's quite a story, like Tenten said. The brown-haired Kunoichi had her hand set on her hip. She didn't care which one of those blonde loudmouths told the story, as long as someone started to tell it soon. This was getting to be frustrating. Will one of you just tell the damn story already? Before I do. Gee, Tenten angry much? Ino teased. Alright. Naruto cleared his throat, preparing to get into storytelling mode. This is a story about. You know. Ino interrupted. She started to run her fingers through his spiky blonde locks. You're not really good at telling stories. I think that I should tell it. Ino. What? Please be quiet. So I can tell Sakura-chan, and Hinata what happened, and why I look like this. I already told you that I wanted to tell. I want to. No, I want to. Sakura and Hinata both sighed. They could both see that this was going to take a while. They ended up having a seat. This could take a while. Ah, this is so cute, your first fight as a couple. Tenten spoke. Upon hearing this, the two blondes stopped arguing and looked up. What? Don't worry, we fight a lot. Ino said. Yeah, this is nothing new. Naruto agreed. Although, we definitely know how to make up, don't we, baby? Yeah, definitely. Sakura ended up groaning in frustration. Not that watching the two of them argue wasn't entertaining. She just really wanted to hear this story sometime in the near future. Come on, you two, someone just say what happened already. Okay, here goes. So this is what happened. Ino stood at the counter of the flower shop. She was bored out of her mind at this moment. She opened up a magazine and started to skim through it. This was as entertaining as it was going to get. When she heard the door open, she instantly planted a smile on her face. She needed to still be joyous for the customers. Welcome to Yamanaka's flower shop. Oh, she paused. She was now face to face with the whisker-faced boy. She was actually a little surprised to see him here. They had no plans as far as she knew. Hey Naruto, what's up? Hi Ino-chan. Come on, let's go. Get ready. He told her. Huh, she held a confused expression on her face. What the hell was he talking about? Go and get ready. Who was he to order her around? Get ready for what? Don't you see that I'm watching the shop? We're going out tonight. I already asked your parents, and they said that it was okay. Ino sighed to herself. He seemed intent on taking her wherever it was. Alright, just give me a moment. No, you look fine. Come on, let's go. You aren't even going to give me a. No. He cut her off again. You look okay, I guess, let's go. Naruto suddenly grabbed her hand and led the way out of the shop. Ino was soon able to pull away from him. The least she could do was lock the shop up. At least let me lock up first. Alright, fine. Naruto stood there while she locked the door. Ino raised an eyebrow to him. She wondered why he seemed to be so on edge. Hey, what's wrong? Didn't you get your ramen fixed today? You seem a little, I don't know, crazed. Naruto let out a laugh. He ran his hand through his spiky blonde locks. Ino couldn't help but notice how cute he looked again. His hair was wild and messy, due to the fact that he wasn't wearing his Hitai-8. No, I'm not crazed, Ino-chan. We just have somewhere that we need to be. Come on. Ino said nothing and followed behind her blonde counterpart. She had no idea what he had planned right now. She figured that she would just go along with it. She wanted to ask where they were going, only she decided against it. Before long she found that they were outside of a restaurant. Naruto. Ino shouted. If you wanted to take me out to dinner, all you had to do was say so. Hey. He laughed. This dinner is actually kind of special. How come? She wondered. Just come in and you will see. He opened the door for her. Ino stood looking around for a moment. She didn't see anything special about this place. It seemed like a typical restaurant to her. Naruto, what's so special? I don't get it. Naruto-kun, Ino-chan, we are over here. Lee's voice was heard from across the room. Ino's eyes widened. She didn't just hear that voice. No, that was completely impossible. She looked frozen, like time had gone still for her. Naruto. She started. Come on, Ino. Naruto, before we order without you. Tenten said. Naruto. Ino repeated. Yes, Ino-chan. Naruto, this isn't a double date, yeah. Naruto nodded. Oh, no, okay. So you guys had a double date with Tenten and Lee. That still doesn't explain why Naruto looks like that. He looks like he had the living daylights knocked out of him. Sakura said. Ino now had her arm wrapped around Naruto's shoulder. She made sure not to apply too much pressure to his arm. The boy was still in pain after all. Well, forehead, if you let us finish the story, you can find out why he looks like that. Okay. Please continue. Right. Ino nodded. Ino immediately wiped the look of horror off of her face. She couldn't let her friends see her like this. She took a breath, pulling herself together before walking over to Tenten and Lee. Hey you guys, Naruto and I will be right back. We need to have a quick chat. Come on. She instantly pulled Naruto away to another part of the restaurant. Ino let him go once she saw that they weren't within earshot of their friends. Naruto, what the? Now Ino-chan. There's no need to have such a potty mouth. Do I need to get the soap and water? Seriously, why didn't you warn me about this? Oh, like you warned me about the dinner with your parents. Ino paused. Naruto was taking revenge for that dinner with her parents. She didn't think he would stoop this low. So this is revenge. Come on Naruto, I really can't stand to have a youthful dinner right now. Naruto chuckled. He then placed his hand onto her shoulder. Now you sound like Lee. Cut it out. Meanwhile Lee and Tenten watched the two blondes across the room. Lee blinked in confusion. He simply didn't get what the problem was. Tenten-chan, what do you think is going on over there? Huh, how should I know? You can never be sure with those two. After a few choice words, and a nasty hit over the head, Naruto and Ino took their seats across from the other couple. Naruto rubbed his head, it looked like a nasty bruise. Sorry about that guys. You know how it is when your boyfriend is an idiot. Ino apologized. Tenten put her hand to her chin, and pretended to think. Nope, I don't know what that's like. Oh, yeah, Ino started. Well at least my guy doesn't go around shouting about youth every 5 minutes. Take that back. Tenten pointed to her. Ladies please calm down. Are you ready to order? A waitress intervened. She wanted to stop this before it got physical. After the two kunoichi calmed down the food was finally ordered. Ino figured that she might as well enjoy some good food. Something had to be worth coming out this evening. Hey Tenten then looked over to the blonde-haired female. Yeah, I'm sorry for earlier. It's okay. It's not a big deal. From there, the two girls were talking and laughing. It was as if they had never even argued in the first place. Naruto and Lee held bewildered expressions on their faces. Hey, Naruto laughed. Girls. Yes. Lee nodded. It is very strange. Hey you brats. What's going on over here? A voice was heard. The 14 looked up to be greeted by Anko Mitarashi. The purple-haired woman stared down at them with a mischievous look in her eyes. Oh no, not you. Naruto sighed. Hey, that's no way to greet me. Hi Anko-sensei. Ino spoke up. Hey, so what's up? You four on a date or something? She wondered. Yeah, Naruto answered. Are you here with someone? Oh wait, it's very doubtful. Anko frowned at the whisker-faced boy. She immediately pulled out a kunai. Can it boy, or I will slice you where the sun don't shine. Naruto gulped. Ino reached over putting her hand across Naruto's mouth. She smiled up at the purple-haired woman. She had to save Naruto from getting his handed to him by Anko. Naruto-kun didn't mean it Anko-sensei. Please don't slice him where the sun doesn't shine. Fine. She agreed. I'm going to have dinner now. I'll see you punks later. Just as Anko left, the waitress placed everyone's dishes on the table. Please enjoy. Naruto didn't need to be told twice. He instantly dug into his ramen. Ino had to admit that the food was very good. She decided then and there that the food was the best part of the evening. Damn, these dumplings are amazing. She looked across from her to see Lee and Tenten feeding each other. It would have been cute, but at this moment she was trying to eat. Ew, gross. Ino thought. Naruto obviously had the same thoughts, only he of course ended up saying something. The boy could never learn to keep his mouth shut. Come on you guys. That's gross. Tenten laughed. Sorry, it's a couple thing. Yeah, Ino quickly agreed. Naruto, baby, here eat. She took some of the fish off of her plate. The young woman turned his face to hers. She waited a moment before shoving the fish into his mouth. Whoa, damn that's spicy. He grabbed a drink from the table and quickly downed its contents. He felt like he was on fire or something. He then turned his attention onto Ino. Ino, are you trying to kill me? I'm sorry. Hold it. Sakura interrupted the story. It was now Ino's turn to groan in frustration. They were never going to finish the story at this rate. What is it now, forehead? All you guys had was dinner. I still don't see what happened to Naruto. Did Mr. Yamanaka really hurt you or something? Naruto just let out a laugh. Ino could only frown at Sakura's question. My daddy has never actually went through on one of his threats. Well, she paused. At least not that I know of anyway. Naruto swallowed hard. So, did this mean that there was every chance that Inoichi would still kill him? No. He shook those thoughts out of his head. Yamanaka-san is cool now. He won't kill me. At least, I hope he won't. Well, Sakura asked Naruto. She was clearly anticipating an answer. No, Mr. Yamanaka didn't do this to me. Yeah, so forehead sit back down, shut the hell up, and let Naruto finish the story. Inohime, do you want to finish the story? No, you can finish, sweetie. Are you sure? Yep. Ino smiled, squeezing his hand within hers. Okay. Naruto smiled. Let's wrap this story up. Naruto wiped the tear out of his eye. That fish was all kinds of spicy. Ino patted his back in a gentle manner. I'm really sorry. Okay, Naruto. It's fine. I'm alright, Ino-chan. You guys are so cute together. Tenten smiled. Lee sat there drinking his soda, or at least the thing that he believed to be soda. This soda tastes funny. Oh well, he thought. He finished his second gland, couldn't help but feel strange. Tenten noticed the dazed look in her boyfriend's eyes. Oh, no, what's wrong? Ino wondered. Lee stood up, nearly bringing the whole table down with him. What the hell, Lee? The platinum blonde questioned. Ooh, my head. He slurred. Tenten jumped up from her seat. She grabbed her food as well. There was no sense in leaving good food to danger. Ino, Naruto, don't panic. Don't panic. Ino repeated. I really don't like the sound of that. Oh shit. Naruto cursed. Lee is drunk. A waiter came over to the four teens. Is there a problem? He put his hand on to the boy in green spandex's shoulder. Lee turned around, punching the man in the face. Move it, Ino-chan, or we're next. But my dinner. Take it to go. Lee is crazy strong when he's drunk. The next thing Ino, Naruto, and Tenten heard was the sound of tables being turned over. Oh, no, who gave this boy alcohol? I knew I recognized him. A waitress spoke. I knew I remembered that green spandex. Everyone stay back. Ino watched in shock and horror, as Lee continued to attack, punch, and kick things. That boy is out of his mind. She pulled Tenten down to the ground. The two of them hid underneath the table. Ino turned her friend towards her. Tenten, what the? Control your crazy boyfriend. I can't. She shrugged her shoulders. He'll eventually tire himself out. And how long could that take? The two girls turned around when they heard movements. They saw Naruto sitting behind them. He looked scared as well. Naruto, what the hell are you doing here? No fair. If you two are hiding, then so am I. Get your own spot, idiot. Ino told him before pushing him from underneath the table. Lee was now busy kicking a wall that he thought was a person. Aha, you cannot defeat the green beast of Konoha. Naruto stood up from the ground, coming face to face with Anko. Naruto, what the hell is his problem? He's drunk. You are going to help us with him, right? Anko let out a laugh. Sorry, kid, this is not my area of expertise. Oh, are you going to finish that? She picked up the dango off the plate and walked away. Anko-sensei, Ino shouted. You aren't seriously going to leave us with Lee alone, are you? Yep. Bye. She waved. Lee's ears perked up when he heard his name. Someone else wishes to challenge me. Oh shit. Ino whispered. Lee was now running over to them at full speed. Lee-kun, no. Tenten shouted. Naruto saw that Lee was heading straight for Ino. He couldn't let that happen. Ino-chan. His mind thought. The blonde male jumped in the way of Lee's fist, taking the hit for Ino. Naruto. She went wide-eyed. All she could do was watch as Naruto took hit after hit. And he was doing all of this for her. She also noticed that Naruto wasn't even trying to hit Lee back. He was really such an amazing friend. Naruto, she thought. It was then that she got an idea. If she used her mind control jutsu, she could stop Lee from hurting Naruto. Yes, it was definitely worth a try. Shinra, she started. Only before she could finish her jutsu, Lee kicked Naruto so hard that he went flying clear across the room. He hit a whole bunch of chairs and tables along the way. The two girls flinched when they heard a cracking sound. Ouch. Tenten whispered. Yeah, Ino agreed. I'm going to go get Guy-sensei. You make sure that Naruto is okay. Right. Ino nodded before running over to her boyfriend. She bent down to his level. Naruto, are you okay? The young man had a dazed look in his eyes. Wow, he mumbled. So beautiful. And with that he closed his eyes, passing out, all the while Ino could not control the blush on her face. Beautiful, huh, she thought. Well, there you have it. That's the story. Lee totally lost his mind, and beat the hell out of my poor, innocent Naru-kun. Ino said with sadness. She hugged him. Ino-chan, please the arm. Oh yeah, she smiled. Sorry. So, how was this a story about doom, hopelessness, fear, and betrayal? Ino looked at Sakura as if she had asked the dumbest question in the entire universe. Forehead, weren't you listening? The story had all those elements. Doom, because we were all doomed the moment Lee had a drink. Fear, because he was scary as all hell. Hopelessness because, well, the situation looked hopeless from the beginning. And lastly, betrayal because Anko-sensei totally betrayed us by leaving. Ino explained. Yeah, Tenten nodded. When I see that purple-haired, Dango stealing. She paused. It's okay, Tenten-chan, calm down. What can you really expect from that crazy woman? Naruto told her. That's true. Everyone agreed. Naruto let a sigh escape him. He closed his eyes for a moment. Ino continued to massage his shoulder for him. He knew that she was doing this simply for show, but it would be a lie if he said that it didn't feel nice. Hello. Lee hiccuped. How are all of you on this extremely youthful day? Instantly blue eyes popped open. He stared at Lee with a panicked expression. Lee had just hiccuped. Was he drunk again? In an instant Naruto was on his feet. Oh hell no. Come on Ino-chan, let's get the hell out of here. He's drunk again. Huh. Lee seemed confused. It's okay Lee-kun. Don't worry about it. Tenten smiled for him. No Tenten, I am not getting hurt again. Ino. He turned to his girlfriend. It's okay Naruto. Lee just has the hiccups. He isn't drunk. Oh good. Naruto sighed in relief. Lee only seemed more confused than ever. But he shrugged his confusion off. Suddenly, as if a light off in his head, he turned towards his girlfriend. Oh yeah, Tenten-chan, I've come to say goodbye. Goodbye. Tenten questioned in shock. Ooh, things are about to get real juicy Naruto-kun. Ino whispered in his ear. Naruto nodded. Sakura and Hinata sat there paying attention too. Were they all about to witness the official Lee and Tenten breakup? Was that the thing that would be happening today? Ino couldn't wait for the fireworks. Yes, goodbye. Lee repeated. What the hell do you mean by goodbye? I gave you the best year and a half of my life. Do you realize who I could have chosen instead of you? Hey Ten, calm down. No. She shook her head. I will not calm down. I have the right to be angry. Listen here Rock Lee. She pointed to him. You picked the wrong kunoichi to break up with. Oh, no Ten's going to lose it. Ino spoke. Lee opened his mouth to say something. Only he couldn't because of Tenten's rant. The young woman kept going on and on. There seemed to be no end in sight. And furthermore Mr. Youthful. Lee silenced her by putting his finger to her lips. Tenten-chan, you are not behaving very youthful today. I am not breaking up with you. I was just saying goodbye, because I'm leaving for a mission. Oh, Tenten calmed down drastically. Well, if that's the case I'm going to miss you Lee-kun. She reached up and hugged her boyfriend. Ino was slightly disappointed. She had expected some big fireworks. Unfortunately, nothing had really happened, except for a big misunderstanding. After a long tearful goodbye, a kiss, and a youthful moment Lee was on his way. Well, now that little ordeal is over. There had to be something good about the evening. Sakura wondered. Tenten, Naruto, and Ino thought about it for a moment. They looked at each other and nodded. It was like they were all thinking the same exact thing. The food. They all agreed. Oh, yeah, the food was amazing. Ino smiled. Yeah, I'm telling you that food was to die for. Yeah, but we'll never get to have it again. We were banned from the restaurant, remember? So we can't ever go back. Naruto reminded them. Oh, that's right. They sighed in disappointment. It was all thanks to Lee. They would never be able to go back to that restaurant again. They probably wouldn't even be able to walk past the place without receiving looks. Damn you Lee. They all thought. Well, I'm going to help Naruto get home. You know, with his bad arm and everything. We'll see you guys later. Oh, and Tenten stay youthful. Ino teased the brunette. Very funny Ino Dadbeo. Hey, Naruto exclaimed. That's not funny. Yeah it kind of was. Sakura laughed. Bye you guys. Bye. The couple waved. For a while they walked insolence side by side. Ino had to admit that they were convincing in front of their friends just now. She was more sure than ever that they could pull this off. Hey, she started. Hi, Ino-chan. Your arm. She started. Does it hurt a lot still? In truth, he wasn't even really in that much pain. Kyuubi of course had something to do with that. Only, he wasn't quite sure if he was ready to tell her about it. Yeah, it's killing me. He lied. Yeah. She nodded. Lee gave you quite the thrashing, huh? Yeah. He grinned. Lee was always strong, you know, but when he's drunk he's like a million times worse. Ino probably would have never believed it, if she hadn't seen it with her own eyes. I never got to thank you. For what? He wondered. For getting in the way, and taking all those hits for me. You really didn't have to. What kind of guy would I be if I let you get hurt? Ino went to say something else, but stopped herself. She also wanted to talk about when he called her beautiful. The moment right before he passed out. She was probably a little nervous about bringing it up. What if he hadn't meant it? What if he had forgotten all about it? He was most likely confused or something. Oh, hey, it's you guys. Anko's voice was heard. Anko-sensei. Damn kid, you look a little banged up. I'm guessing you didn't survive last night. No thanks to you. Naruto reminded her. Hey. She shrugged her shoulders. I told you that wasn't really my thing. Oh, but stealing other people's food is. You owe us some money. Anko let out a guilty laugh. There was no way in hell she was going to be paying them out of her pockets. No way, you brats. I'm not paying you anything. Oh yeah, well, wait until Ibiki-sensei finds out. Or better yet, I'll tell Tsunade-sama. She won't be too thrilled when she learns that you left 4 defenseless teens alone. In a highly dangerous situation at that. Ino told her. Hardly. She laughed. You two are not defenseless. But I rather not have Tsunade-sama on my about this nonsense. I'm sure you would spin this story to your advantage. So, here. She went into her pocket and took out some ryo. Anko muttered something about stupid, blonde children, before walking away. Ino laughed. That was really cool, Ino-chan. Yeah, I'm actually surprised that she went for it. She probably was bored of us, and couldn't wait to get out of here, or something. Yeah, probably. Naruto agreed. Oh shit, I have to be at the shop again today. I'm sorry, Naruto, I wanted to make sure that you got home okay. You know, with your bad arm. Naruto really appreciated the platinum blonde's concern. I'll be fine, trust me. He tried to reassure her. Ino slowly nodded, although, she had to admit that she was rather worried about her whisker-faced friend. Are you sure? Yeah, alright. But be careful, okay? Your arm should be better soon though. Thanks, I will, Ino-chan. Take care, okay? I will. She smiled for him. If you need anything, I know. He nodded. Okay, bye. She waved to him. Naruto stared after her until she was gone from sight. A sigh escaped the young man. I want to tell you about Kyuubi, Ino-chan. It's just that I'm not ready yet. With that, the young man turned around and headed to his own apartment, with thoughts of Ino and the Kyuubi on his mind. Uzumaki Naruto let out an uneasy sigh. This was it. Today was the day that he would tell his friend about the Kyuubi. He was more than just a little nervous. He was worried about how Ino would react to his news. Was it possible that she might end up hating him? Would she want to end their friendship over this? Naruto stood on the bridge where the former Team 7 used to wait for their sensei. He had asked the platinum blonde to meet him here. She was actually running a little late. He hoped that everything was okay with her. Naruto was soon pacing back and forth, in a very nervous manner. It wasn't too late to back out. No one said that he had to tell her about Kyuubi today. But then he remembered Inoichi's words. Ino had a right to know, especially since they had been spending a lot of time together. Hey Naruto. He heard her voice. He stopped pacing, and turned around. Ino stopped right in front of him. Hey, I'm sorry that I'm late. What's up? Why did you want to meet me? The blonde male nervously shoved his hands into his pockets. He gathered up his courage. This was now or never. Do or die. There was no holding back any longer. Ino-chan, I have something I want to tell you. Okay. She nodded. Go for it. I should have probably told you this before. I'm sorry that I didn't. Ino simply blinked in confusion. She saw that he was having a hard time. She only wanted him to say whatever it was that was on his mind. Naruto, it's okay. Just tell me. Right. Well, do you remember the attack on Konoha, 17 years ago? The one made by Kyuubi. Did you ever hear anything about it? Ino nodded. She had remembered her parents discussing it when she was younger. She wondered why he was suddenly bringing it up now. What did that have to do with him? Yeah, the fox demon that the Yondaime killed, right? No, the fourth didn't kill Kyuubi. Naruto stopped. Ino put her hand to his shoulder. She didn't know of any other way to help him tell her what was going on. Naruto, how do you know about all of this? It's not really something that we were told about, you know. Yeah, I know. I'll tell you. I know that the fourth didn't kill Kyuubi, because it was sealed inside a newborn. He paused again. Naruto looked down and stared into Ino's eyes. She was clearly waiting for him to speak again. That newborn was me. I have Kyuubi inside of me. I'm a Jinchuriki. Ino froze. Naruto stared into those aqua-colored orbs. She had a look of fear in her eyes. He had never seen her look like this before. She slowly stepped away from him. You're a freak. Her words were painful to him. It was the way she uttered the word, freak. He hated the way she called him that so easily. Ino-chan. No, you're a freak. She repeated. I can't believe that you have that thing inside of you. And to think that I let you touch me. I let you hold my hand. How could I ever let a monster like you anywhere near me? Each word she spoke felt like a stab to the chest. Her voice was filled with venom. He had never actually heard her speak like this. Not even to Sakura, whenever they had their little rivalry going on. But Ino, I'm not a monster. I'm still the same Naruto. You know, the one you always call idiot. He tried to smile. Your friend. Ino wasn't having any of it. She didn't want to hear any of his explanations. To her, he was not the same Naruto she once knew. He was a monster, a freak, someone she didn't want to be around. Don't try to get me to feel sorry for you, you creep. I'm out of here. Don't ever talk to me again. Goodbye. He watched her walk away. Naruto tried to run after her. He had to stop her from leaving. He needed her to understand that he wasn't a monster, or a freak. He was someone that she could count on. He was her friend. When he caught up to her, he grabbed her arm. Ino-chan, please wait. Get the hell off of me, you goddamn monster. She turned around and slapped him across the face. Naruto put his hand to his cheek. It had turned bright red. Ino had no sort of remorse in her eyes. Naruto only saw hate and disgust. Never come near me again. With that, she was gone from sight. Naruto never imagined that she would take the news so badly. Ino, he whispered sadly. Naruto woke up from his nightmare. He stared down at the seal on his stomach. That nightmare was still haunting him. He couldn't even begin to think of anything else. Ino-chan wouldn't react like that, would she? He wondered. He didn't want to even imagine that happening for real. It was then that he decided not to tell her. He would hold off on telling her for a while. The young man had truly lost his nerve. At this moment, he simply didn't have the heart to tell her. For the rest of the night, he found that sleep did not come for him. He found that no matter how hard he tried, he couldn't get back to sleep. The dream would not leave his thoughts. He wasn't sure how the platinum blonde was going to react. Sure, she was loud, pushy, and sometimes overbearing. Yet the blue-eyed girl had a caring side. And he found that she could be very understanding. Knowing this did nothing to ease his nervousness. I guess telling Ino-chan about Kyuubi will have to wait a little while longer. Over the past few days, a certain pink-haired female had the opportunity to do some serious thinking. Watching Ino and Naruto together was something that she was still trying to get used to. She found that she was spending less time with her blonde-haired friend. If he wasn't on missions, he was spending all of his free time with Ino. She missed him, but of course she wasn't jealous. At least, that was what she was trying to tell herself. I'm not jealous, I'm not jealous. Sakura was sitting at a nearby bench thinking, when Tenten saw her. Tenten walked over to her pink-haired friend. She noticed that the young woman was clearly spacing out. The brunette waved her hand in front of her. There was no response. She then started to shake Sakura. There was still no response. Sakura. The younger girl didn't acknowledge the brunette. Tenten was becoming visibly upset. Just what the hell was she thinking about, that had her so spaced out? It was as if Sakura was in another world. Konoha to Haruno Sakura, where the hell are you right now? Sakura didn't even blink. She was too deep in her thoughts to be bothered by Tenten. The older Kunoichi knew that she had to do something. She needed to bring the green-eyed girl out of her current state. Oh my god, is that Naruto cheating on Ino with Tamari from Suna? Huh, Sakura instantly snapped out of it. Oh, hey Tenten, what's up? You tell me. The brown-eyed girl sat down next to her. You seem a little out of it. I'm fine. She lied. I was just doing a little thinking. Yeah, I can see that. Unknowing to the two girls, Ino was sitting behind some bushes listening in. She was actually going to ask Sakura what the problem was, but Tenten had gotten to her first. So here the platinum blonde sat, eavesdropping on their conversation. She felt a little bad for doing this. Mainly because it made her seem like she had absolutely no life. Geez, what am I even doing here? This is so pathetic. As she was getting up to leave, she heard the two girls talking again. So what's on your mind? Tenten asked. I was just thinking about Naruto and Ino. She heard her name. There was no way she was leaving right now. She had to stay to hear this. What about them? They are so cute, aren't they? I don't know. Something just doesn't seem right with them. I can't explain. Oh shit. Ino thought. This couldn't be a good thing. If Sakura was thinking thoughts like this, then she and Naruto simply weren't convincing enough. I don't get it. They seem like they're good for each other. You're probably a bit jealous. Tenten smiled. Sakura's cheeks flushed red. No, that wasn't it. She admitted when she first found out that they were together. She was a little more than surprised. But it was to be expected. They were the very last people she saw making a love connection. She really didn't see that one coming. To make a long story short, she simply couldn't believe it. Although she had witnessed them holding hands, touching, and calling each other names like, sweetie, or, baby. A part of her still didn't really believe it. Or maybe she just didn't want to believe it. Was she really jealous? Maybe on some level she was. She did however feel that Naruto had been taken away from her. Ino sat there anticipating Sakura's answer. If it was what she had hoped, she could go find Naruto, and tell him the good news. They would be able to end this little charade. Come on forehead, just admit that you're jealous already. Sakura started. I am not jealous. Yeah, right, whatever you say Sakura. You are so jealous. I can tell. No I'm not. Look, think about it Tenten. Don't you think that their relationship happened a little too fast? They had one date, the next thing they are suddenly into each other. And haven't you noticed that they never kiss? Ino swallowed the lump in her throat. So this was what the whole thing was about. Sakura had a point. In front of their friends, she and Naruto had never once kissed. The most they ever did was hug, hold hands, and call each other little pet names. She couldn't believe that she had forgotten that little detail. Couples kissed, it was a well-known fact. She had surely seen Lee and Tenten, and Hinata and Kiba enough to understand that. She didn't want their entire plan blown to pieces, because of something as simple as a kiss. Besides, it wouldn't mean anything to either of them. She was positive that Naruto still wanted Sakura. She knew that much for sure. And she was simply Naruto's friend, nothing more, nothing less. She could kiss her friend with no strings attached. If this was all true, why did she feel nervous about it? So what? Tenten said. Couples don't have to always show PDA. Who says that they have to be all over each other? Ino stood up from her position on the ground. She didn't want to hear the rest of this. Instead she went off in search of her blonde friend. Sakura turned around. She stared at the bushes with a curious expression. What's up? Tenten questioned. It's nothing. I told you it's just weird. I can't really explain it but something is up. Ino searched everywhere for her whisker-faced friend. He wasn't at Ichiraku's, he wasn't training, no one had seen him. It wasn't as if he had vanished off the face of the earth. Naruto, where the hell are you? She wondered. Oi Ino, you okay? Shikamaru asked. Huh, oh hey Shika. I didn't see you laying there. You haven't seen Naruto anywhere have you? A yawn escaped the dark-haired male. He looked up to meet his gaze. She seemed a little on edge. He was starting to wonder why that was. Naruto. No I can't say that I've seen him. Alright. She nodded. Thanks, I'm going to go find him. She started to leave, but Shikamaru called out to her once more. Ino, I know it's not really any of my business. But are you and Naruto okay? I don't know, you seem a little panicked for some reason. We're fine. Ino smiled. There's nothing to worry about. I'll see you around, okay Shika, bye. She waved. Shikamaru only shrugged his shoulders. If Ino said everything was fine, then it had to be true. He would have to leave any suspicions or questions alone for the moment. I guess that she's okay then. The platinum blonde finally decided to check Naruto's house. He had to be in his apartment. She knocked on the door. There was no answer at first. Naruto, open up. She only knocked harder. He had yet to come to the door. A sigh escaped her. What was he doing in there that was so important? Could he seriously not hear her practically banging on his door? Naruto, she shouted. It was then that realization came to her. Perhaps he wasn't even home. It would explain why he wasn't coming to the door. Only, if he wasn't home, where the hell was he? I better go then. Just then a taller, spiky-headed blonde came to the door. He was dressed in nothing except his boxers, and a sleeveless t-shirt. A blush rose to Ino's face, yet it quickly faded. Ino-chan, he yawned. What are you doing here? Get back inside. You hardly have any clothes on. She pushed him back inside his apartment. What's up? What are you doing here? He asked again. Naruto moved the many ramen cups out of the way, so that Ino could have a seat. The blue-eyed female sat down and he did as well. She stared at the young man's arms. He had a well-toned body, she could tell. She found herself wishing that the shirt was completely off. She wanted to see just how well-toned he really was. No. She shook her head. Don't think like that. Ino took a breath. She needed to get her thoughts together. She thanked Kami that Naruto couldn't read her thoughts right now. Ino-chan. His voice held concern. Are you okay? Hi. She nodded. We've got to talk. I have some news. For one thing, Sakura is totally jealous. What? He scratched his head in confusion. She is, trust me. I heard her talking with Tenten. Even if she's not admitting it, she definitely is. Ino seemed to be completely confident in this little bit of information. Naruto, on the other hand, wasn't sure what to make of things. Ino, no. Listen, we're making progress. It may be at a slow pace, but we are making progress. There's something else though. Naruto blinked. He wasn't sure how to interpret Ino's tone of voice. She also appeared to be a little reluctant about sharing the next part of her news. Ino-chan, what is it? Well, to seal the deal, we're going to have to show a little more public affection. We're going to have to. She paused. We're going to have to kiss. As soon as he heard this, Naruto fell from his spot on the bed. He hit the floor hard. Ino simply shook her head. Get up, you idiot. But Ino-chan, we can't do that. I know. She agreed. We have to. If Sakura sees it, it's bound to have some sort of impact on her. Besides, couples do kiss. She caught the look of worry on the blonde boy's face. I know what you're thinking. It'll be okay, Naruto. It's just a quick kiss. We both know that it won't mean anything. You do want forehead, don't you? A sigh escaped Naruto. He stood up, and made his way over to the window. Ino stared at him. She waited patiently for some sort of response. Ino-chan, what if this is really a waste of our time? I'm not sure if this is a good idea anymore. Maybe we should just give it up. Ino almost didn't believe the words that were coming out of his mouth. This wasn't possible. Uzumaki Naruto was quitting. Sure, he had always been a bit reluctant since the beginning. He had always had his doubts about the whole plan. But she thought that he was all for it by now. And she didn't come all this way to give up now. She wasn't ready to call this whole thing quits. Uzumaki. She called out to him in a stern voice. We didn't come all this way to give up now. We just have to push a little harder. You and I can do this. Listen, I really want to help you. At first this was just a stupid game to me. I wanted to tick Sakura off. But now, Naruto turned around to meet Ino's gaze. She was being serious, he could tell by the look in her eyes. She also had a very serious expression on her face. Ino, let me finish, okay? I want you to have the things that you want. Although, I did tell you that you needed to get over her. Forehead has always been one of those things. She's always been the girl of your dreams. So, if I can help, I want to. So, she smiled. We're in this to the very end, got it? There was something in her voice that made him not want to disappoint her. She seemed determined. He ended up giving her a half smile. Sure. Good. Now don't worry so much about that kiss. It's only for show, remember? Yeah, and I would hate for all of our progress to be ruined. We've come too far to end this thing now, especially since it's just something as simple as a kiss. I'm going to go now. I'll see you. Bye, Ino-chan. Bye. She waved. The platinum blonde exited his house. She leaned up against the door for a moment. Ino took a breath. That takes care of that. I can't believe that he almost gave up. We've worked too hard to give up. With that, Ino left his apartment and headed home. All she could really think about was the conversation with Sakura and Tenten. Why couldn't the pink-haired girl accept what she and Naruto had already produced? Now they had to actually kiss. This might prove to be difficult. Ino saw that they had a challenge ahead of them. Things should work out fine. Yeah, as long as I remain optimistic. It should work out okay. Naruto watched until the platinum blonde was out of sight. To say he was nervous about this kiss was an understatement. He was downright panicked. He was more than just a little worried about it. Then again, there was no real reason to panic. Like Ino said, it wouldn't mean anything. Yeah, Naruto laughed. It's only a little kiss. It won't mean anything, he told himself. One day the couple sat together holding hands, like they usually did. Ino figured that today was better than any other, to get this kiss over with. Unknowing to Naruto, Sakura had been nearby. Tenten was standing next to her. Sakura, what the hell are you doing? She asked. Shish, I'm watching them. Oh yeah, and you're definitely not jealous. Sakura, do you see yourself? Look at what you're doing. You're sitting here spying on them from the bushes. Sakura chose to ignore Tenten's comments. Although, she really did have a point. This was more than just a little ridiculous. This was downright crazy. Naruto felt the nervousness running through him. He was almost a complete wreck. He was sweating, and he felt like his throat was about to close in. Ino turned to look at him. She slowly loosened her grip on his hand. Your palms are really sweaty. Are you alright? She gently placed her hand to his forehead. He didn't have a fever. So he definitely wasn't sick. It was then that she came to one conclusion. Are you nervous? Yeah, kind of, he admitted. Don't be. It's not a big deal, like I said. It's going to be okay. Yeah, Ino suddenly wrapped her arms around his shoulders. Naruto blinked in confusion. Why was she doing this? None of their friends were around. She was now firmly pressed up against his chest. He let out a muffled groan. Ino-chan, what are you? Shish, she's watching us. Who? Sakura. I see that pink head of hers. Who does she think she's fooling? Ino spoke in an amused tone. Ino pulled away slightly. She wrapped her arms around his neck. Aqua orbs staring into his confused cerulean blue pools. He didn't like that look in her eyes. She had something planned, he could tell. Naruto, are you ready? Ready for what? Ino rolled her eyes at his comment. It figured he would say something like that. Never mind, just come here. She then pressed her lips to his for a quick kiss. Sakura's eyes nearly fell out of their sockets. What the? Do you see that? They can't be, what? She repeated. Well, what do you expect, they are a couple. Tenten reminded her. Naruto never relaxed into her kiss. Ino frowned slightly. It was so tense and uncomfortable. The very least he could have done was kiss her back. Naruto, what the hell are you doing? Ino thought. I don't believe this. Sakura whispered. Ew. Gross, get a room, you two. Kiba's voice was heard. The two blondes immediately looked up to see the feral boy. He had a grin on his face. Shut the hell up, Kiba. Ino shouted. If I want to kiss my man, I'm damn well going to. Besides, we didn't say anything when you gave Hinata-chan that hickey the other day. A slight blush rose to the brown-haired boy's face. It quickly faded. Yes, Naruto-kun and Ino-chan are just enjoying a youthful moment together. Tenten sighed heavily. She then made her way over to her boyfriend. She had to get him to shut up. Lee-kun, shut up. Oh, hello Tenten-chan. Where did you come from? Yeah, Ten, where did you come from? Ino asked with a suspicious look on her face. Tenten swallowed the lump of nervousness in her throat. She didn't want Ino to know that she was with Sakura. She really didn't want any part of that mess. I was just walking by when I heard Lee. We have a date right now, remember Lee? Huh, he was definitely confused. She stepped on his foot and pulled him closer to her. We have a date, don't we? She repeated. Oh yes, yes we do, lead the way Tenten-chan. He smiled weakly. Ino just let out a laugh. She stroked Naruto's cheek. She could see right through Tenten's quick lie. Well, she did get points for thinking quickly though. If I knew that we were going to have an audience, I would have invited them over a lot sooner, huh, Naruto-kun? Yeah, Ino-chan. He gave her a smile. Whatever. Kiba laughed. I didn't mean to crash your makeout session. I'll be on my way. See you guys. He waved. Bye Kiba. They said together. Ino was trying to decide on whether or not she should confront Sakura. The pink-haired girl had to still be nearby. She highly doubted that Sakura had left just yet. Ino closed her eyes, and then opened them again. She was now staring in the direction where Sakura was sitting. Sakura, you can come out now. Shit. Sakura cursed. She pulled herself together before coming out from her hiding spot. Hey, you two. Did you enjoy the show? Or do we have to give you a repeat of it? No thanks. I got more than an eyeful. Good. I'm glad that you saw. Now you see just what you don't have, huh? Now you see what you're missing, don't you? What? Ino pig eye. It's perfectly okay, you know. I'm not mad because you're jealous. I think it's kind of cute actually. Sakura held her mouth open. She tried to find some words to say, only she found that she had none at this moment. I was the only thing that she could say. What's the matter, forehead? Are you speechless? Sakura closed her mouth for a moment. She needed to come up with something to say back to Ino. She couldn't let Ino get the last words in. Shut up, Ino pig. Why don't you and Naruto go back to sucking face? I have to go. Oh, Sakura. Next time ask first before you watch us. Whatever. She shouted and then stormed off. Ino waited until she was completely gone from sight before talking. She didn't want their conversation to be overheard. She turned to face her blonde-haired friend. Naruto was already staring at her. Tell me that you saw that. She was so jealous. It was written all over her face. Maybe. Naruto spoke. Naruto, she was. Trust me. We're doing good. Naruto only nodded. He then stood up. Ino watched him with a curious expression. She hoped that she didn't say anything to upset him. Hey, what's wrong, Naruto? It's nothing. He lied. I'm going to go. I'm sorry about that kiss. Don't be. It didn't mean anything. It was nothing like I said. So, if that's why you're leaving right now. She started. It isn't. Naruto quickly cut her off. I'm just going to go. Okay then. I'll see you. And next time I will get forehead to really admit that she's jealous. She's so stubborn, I swear. Okay, Ino-chan. Bye. Bye. Ino sat there for a little while longer. She put her hand to her lips. She could hardly call that a real kiss. He didn't even kiss her back. There was no feeling, except for discomfort. No. It was nothing, it meant nothing. I'm fine. She whispered to no one. With that, the blue-eyed girl got up and went home. The only thing on her mind now was Naruto, and that almost kiss that happened between them. That night Naruto was laying in bed with his arms behind his head. He stared into the ceiling. All he could think about was almost kissing Ino. He wasn't considering it a real kiss either. The only thing that happened was her lips being pressed up against his. He had never kissed her back. Naruto wondered why he couldn't reciprocate that kiss. He turned when he heard a light tapping at his window sill. He saw the platinum blonde out there. She had a smile on her face. It was late. What was she doing out there? She had to be okay. She was smiling after all. So he knew that she was in a good mood. Hey Naruto-kun, open up, okay? He went to the window. She entered and stared back into his eyes. He looked more than just a little surprised to see her. Hey Ino-chan, what are you doing here? Shish. She put her finger to his lips. She walked closer to him. The blue-eyed girl wrapped her arms around his shoulders. He stood there frozen for a moment. He almost felt the urge to wrap his arms around her waist. But, decided against it. Naruto, I didn't get my kiss. You never kissed me back. You didn't give me the opportunity to really feel your lips against mine. The taller blonde's cheeks turned red. He felt his heart race, his pulse quickened. Ino was really close to him right now. He could literally feel her heartbeat. Why did she have to be this close to him right now? Her chest was pressed firmly up against his. He could feel each and every outline of her body. It was now causing certain sensations to run through him. He felt his lower half stiffen. Naruto turned red with embarrassment. If Ino had felt it, which he was sure she had. She didn't say anything about it. Ino-chan, he started. She now had her hand onto his face. She smiled up at him. There was a look of want in her blue eyes. She came here for a kiss, and she clearly wasn't leaving until she got that kiss. I want my kiss, Naruto-kun. Don't deny me this time. Let me really feel how well you can kiss a girl. Don't disappoint me. She leaned forward, pressing her lips to his. It took a moment before he relaxed into the kiss. After a few moments he eased his way into her kiss. Naruto wrapped his arms around her waist, deepening their kiss. Something that has started out so innocent and light, was now turning into something much more heated and passionate. He felt his heart pounding through his chest, with each passing moment. Naruto ended their kiss by pulling away. Ino also felt her pulse quicken. She hadn't expected it to be that good. Wow, Naruto, who knew that you actually could kiss? Naruto instantly woke up. There was sweat pouring from his forehead. It was a dream. It all just been one big dream. None of it was real. Although to him it had felt very real. He literally felt her lips on his. Oh boy, Naruto sighed. I need to get a grip. Naruto thought about something. Maybe it wasn't a bad idea to get out of Konoha for a little while. He could definitely use a vacation. A little trip that wasn't a mission for once. Naruto nodded his head. Yeah, that's a good idea. I'll get out of Konoha for a little while. The next afternoon, a pink-haired girl was walking the streets of Konoha. She walked slowly with her shoulders slumped over. She was tired out of her mind. She had a terrible nightmare of Naruto and Ino getting married. The next thing she saw was a whole bunch of annoying, loud, blonde children. She shuddered at the very thought. That couldn't possibly happen. Sure, they had kissed, but marriage and children, that was out of the question. No, I can't be godmother to the spawn of Naruto and Ino pig. She stopped walking and looked towards the gates. She saw two heads of blonde hair. Speak of the devils. There was Naruto and Ino together, like usual. So she wasn't really surprised to see them together. But this time they were leaving the village. And they weren't holding hands. Hell, they weren't even standing all that close to each other. Naruto was clearly leading the way, with Ino following behind him. Sakura raised an eyebrow in question. They were too far away for her to call out to them. She knew that right now she couldn't ask any questions. She watched until both blondes were gone from sight. There is something definitely up with those two. Oh well, I guess I will confront them about it when they get back. Naruto, Ino, what's really going on with you both? The blue-eyed male put his hand to Ino's cheek. He stared down at her for a moment. There was a look of want and desire in his eyes. Those cerulean blue orbs seemed to be screaming, I want you. The platinum blonde stared wide-eyed at him. Why was he looking at her like this? Surely he couldn't be looking at her this way. Naruto gently stroked her cheek. Naruto, what are you doing? Ino-chan, I want you. I want you more than anything. He whispered to her. He put his arms around her waist, bringing her closer to him. She could feel her heartbeat through her chest. Her cheeks flushed red at his warm touch. Why was he causing these feelings to stir up inside of her? Couldn't he see what he was doing to her right now? But I thought that you wanted forehead. No. He shook his head. I want to be with you and only you. He leaned down, capturing her lips in a soft, passionate kiss. Ino tried to resist his kiss. This was wrong, wasn't it? It shouldn't be happening. He was only her friend, nothing more, nothing less. Only she soon found herself giving in and kissing him back. Ino-chan. She was suddenly pulled out of her thoughts by a loud clapping sound. It was Naruto trying to get her attention. Hey Ino-chan, what's up? Where are you right now? Naruto asked. Ino shook her head, getting rid of the remainder of her thoughts. She looked up to meet Naruto's concerned gaze. She couldn't very well tell him what she was thinking. I'm fine, sorry that I was spacing out on you. Yeah, he nodded. Are you okay? I'm fine. She tried to reassure him. He did not really believe her, but decided not to comment any further. If Ino said that she was fine, he would just have to take her word for it. Whatever she had been thinking about must have been pretty good, since she couldn't seem to pull herself out of her own thoughts. I wonder what she was thinking about. Naruto decided that it was really none of his business, and let go of any questions he might have had for her. Let's rest here for a while, okay? Ino said to him. Sure. Ino sat down underneath a nearby tree, her blonde counterpart sat on a nearby rock. She gazed up into the sky. There wasn't a cloud in sight. It was really such a beautiful day. She felt that she should definitely enjoy it. It's a really nice day today, huh? The platinum blonde told him. Yeah, Naruto agreed. It'll probably rain at some point though. She blinked, and stared up into those cerulean blue orbs. What makes you say that? She wondered. Huh. He then looked at her. Oh, you can just sense it. Hey Ino-chan, when you're ready to get going let me know. Hey, why are you going to the land of waves anyway? Ino had been in such a rush to go with the blue-eyed boy, she had forgotten to ask him why he was leaving Konoha. The only thing that she knew was that she was bored out of her mind, and she had wanted something to do. Flashback. Ino had been watching the shop, when she noticed a familiar head of spiky blonde hair outside. She saw Naruto with his bag on his back. It meant that he was leaving the village. She ran to the door of the shop. Oi, Naruto, where are you going? She was curious. Naruto turned around to see Ino. He smiled for her. Hey there Ino-chan. I'm going to the land of waves. You're going to go alone? Yes, so I better go. I'll see you when I get back Ino. He started to walk off. Ino stood there just thinking for a moment. Here she was, bored out of her mind. Was it really such a bad idea if she tagged along? It gave her something to do, that was for sure. Hey Naruto, wait. Give me a moment to get ready, okay? I want to go with you. Naruto blinked in confusion. Ino-chan, you. No. She cut him off. I really want to go, alright. I'll be right back, just wait for me. All Naruto could do was nod, because she was already gone. Okay. End. I'm going to the land of waves to visit a family over there. Oh, she blinked. So it's a social thing. Yeah, it's been a while since I last saw them. I just wanted to see how they were doing, you know. Yeah, she nodded in understanding. Whatever, it beats standing around in the flower shop all day. Ino got up from her comfortable position on the ground. She stretched her arms, a long sigh escaping her. Alright, well I guess we can keep moving then. Good. Naruto nodded. He led the way with Ino following behind him. She was actually curious to see what would happen on this little trip with Naruto. It might be interesting. I've already been surprised by him. Hey Ino-chan, you've never been to the land of the waves, huh? No, I never have. She admitted. I heard that it was a pretty poor country though. Yeah, Naruto nodded. It was, but they progressed a lot since the bridge was built. Well that's a good thing. I bet you'll be pretty excited to see your friends again, huh? Yeah, you'll like them. They're all really nice people. The blonde male paused, as he had now hit the ground hard, due to the fact that he wasn't paying attention and tripped over a rock. Damn, he cursed. Are you alright? Geez, you're clumsy. Come here, give me your hand. Naruto reached for Ino's hand, and she helped him up from the ground. Hey, Ino smiled. It looks like I'm already saving your ass. Yeah, right. Naruto smirked. I don't need you to save me, Ino-chan. Yeah, we'll see about that. We've still got plenty of time in the day. You never know what might happen. Naruto raised an eyebrow to his traveling companion. Was it him, or did it sound like she actually wanted something to go wrong, just so she could end up being his rescuer? Hey, it sounds like you want something to happen. There's nothing wrong with a little excitement. The platinum blonde told him. Yeah, I guess, but we're just going to visit some friends of mine. It's not a mission or anything, Ino, you probably thought it was right. Well, yeah, I did sort of think that it was a mission. But hey, I don't mind if it's just a social thing. I really did want to come with you. Ino paused when she realized what she said, and just exactly how she said it. Naruto only blinked. Ino-chan. Never mind that. Let's get going, okay? She spoke cheerfully and started to lead the way. Ino, you're going the wrong way. Ino quickly stopped walking. Of course she had no idea where the hell she was going. Stupid move Ino, she muttered under her breath. Hey, Ino laughed. I'll just follow your lead then. Yeah, that's probably a good idea Ino. You don't want to get lost or something, your father would never let me hear the end of it. Naruto could just imagine the look on Inoichi's face, if he came back to Konoha without Ino. Although, he had been able to get through an entire dinner with Mr. Yamanaka, he would be a dead man for sure if that happened.